This is Andrew Couch, and we're going to take a slightly different tack here. Andrew is with Candy Lab, and they, in addition to mobile and other kinds of web and digital content, they produce augmented reality. Augmented reality is content that is digital media that's overlaid over real places. And we're going to see a short video that's actually available on their site. We may have a little bit of audio with it. But then his presentation is actually going to be to explain what you've just looked at and how that works.
A record of the delightful piece they're going to play this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, 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 your attention, please. Your attention, please. Attention, please.
And now the moment we've been waiting for is here.
I have something to tell you.
So what you just saw was work that they've done called Cashtown about caching digital media assets out in real space. And if you could see that, people were holding up a device, looking through the camera on the device at a real place, and there was new content there that didn't exist in the real world. So they're doing some really interesting things. Andrew and Gilda have come here from San Diego. They've set up shop here in the Midwest. But I think what's going to be most interesting is to talk a little bit about this idea of location and how you can build a really rich media story around it, about real things and virtual things and lay them together. So, Andrew.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, thanks for having us here. I'll try to get through these slides pretty quickly. Are we familiar with augmented reality? So just real quick, it's just a live indirect view of a real-world environment that is just augmented by computer-generated sensory input. You can use things like sound, graphics, GPS data, music that can all be interacted with by location. The phone knows where it is, it talks to the map. When it gets close enough, interaction could occur. We fire off a lot of sensors inside of the mobile phone, so we can pull in data from wherever and then instantly make an interaction occur because that app sits on the phone. How do I flip through the slides? All right. So we've made an app called Cashtown using location-based augmented reality. It's our way to compete with Google AdMob, Foursquare, and adding like a Super Mario Brothers twist to it. So we're actually incorporating gamification. What's important about this type of technology that I think a lot of marketers can resonate well to is that you can drive traffic to specific locations. We've done some testing actually out in Texas with a college football team and found out that a 30-day challenge, people knew that they could win a $30,000 car. All they had to do is download this app and go around and collect these, virtual keys at car lots. They collect enough of them, the winner gets announced at halftime, they come kick a football, get a $30,000 car. So we know that people are still incentivized by the same thing that they have been for years. It's just delivering it to them through this method is new. So you saw before a brand communication. This girl happens to be walking down a street, El Paso actually, and she's holding up her tablet. She sees a Pike's Coffee medallion. And this Pike's Coffee medallion is just a marker that was placed on the map that her phone is able to just kind of magically somehow see. And it just works, it's accurate. She holds her tablet up, she clicks on this Pike's medallion and sees that there's a free coffee behind it. Her screen says free coffee. Well, what do we know of mobile metrics? Anytime an ad is displayed within about a mile of the actual business, there's I think about a 60 to 65% conversion rate where the person will actually come in and redeem it. Well, we can make that happen now by 5 meters using this technology. So she's gonna walk right in and she's gonna redeem her free coffee. And from there, what else is she gonna do? Using this technology, she can play other types of games. We can even enhance her experiences through these games for the purpose of marketing, sales, and engagement, just like we would with any other aspect of tech. With multifaceted marketing, let's say that she's getting invited to go to a concert later in the day, and her girlfriend's just called her. She wants to go buy a new dress. And she just got this free coffee from LocationBased AR. Say she walks into a store, and she happens to see a dress that she likes. using a technology called object-based augmented reality that looks at vertical and horizontal lines, will actually say, oh, I know this mannequin in our database. We're supposed to show this little box right here. And we can actually assign content behind that box. So she holds her tablet up, she clicks on this box, and lo and behold, it's 20% off that particular dress. So she's gonna go try it on. We're now building loyalty with that particular small business and her just through an element of gamification and a type of a tech that just looks at a mannequin and it can see the high and low points on the face, assign a box to it, she can just click on it. Now she's trying on a dress, probably gonna buy it from the store. Looks like she did. So she met up with her friends, they're gonna go to a concert. Turns out her friends are playing Cashtown too. They've managed to collect, 3 coins? She's got 10. They can redeem these for certain things at small businesses right around her immediate area that participate with Cashtown. So she can play, and she can win. What's really neat about this though is that if you, and you, let's say 3 people open up an app using location-based augmented reality and mapping, all 3 phones know that they're in a specific area using geofence. They know that they're in a certain area. Firing off, cell communications to the towers and Wi-Fi, these phones know where they are in relation to the map. They know that they're together. And because these phones know that they're together and these friends are connected, using data that we've stored from these people's behaviors, we can start to present things into these game pieces that all 3 of them are gonna like. And this is very easy to do. This isn't complicated. We can thank a lot of the big data scientists out there for just making algorithms that just work, you can plug in. So she clicks this coin, same thing like Pike's Coffee, she clicks it, but all 3 friends holding up a tablet can all see the same interaction occur. She got free concert tickets. She's probably gonna use them later that night. And because this plaza holding a concert knew that there was gonna be this kind of pep rally earlier in the day, when they go run their marketing campaigns like they typically would with Google AdMob, they're gonna place free concert tickets out there hoping that these pairs, these groups of people are gonna redeem them, or maybe you get 2 free tickets knowing that 3 or 4 are gonna come. So now they're gonna be able to push 2 at the counter. They're gonna sell 2 by giving away 2. And this of course shares out to your social channels. This is how the back end works. We're just going to the map, we're taking markers, making these game pieces, drag and drop them where you want. That's the Santa Clara Convention Center. And say you want to actually make them on a street corner and not just kind of hover over a general area. You can go into the map, make fine-tuned placements. Google actually already provides this for you. We don't actually have to make anything for that. It's just like adjusting your marker like you would when you claim your local business. Place all the pieces where you want, upload your offer to them, upload it, and it publishes in the app pretty quickly. Cashtown is really simple to use, and we should always expect that from our users. They should know that they just need to go to Google Play, iTunes, download an app, open it, and just start clicking on things. We made it that way on purpose. Same thing for the marketers. We followed a very similar trend to Google AdWords, so we're not introducing any type of new thought when it comes to spending money for mobile marketing, but using this technology, mapping location-based services, increased sensors that are being used in the phone to provide a more enriched environment for a gamer to get, or a potential user to interact with, we find does work. People do want more. They just don't want to do more. They just want to experience more. And you could do that with this technology. In fact, all of us could do something with this. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. While we get Matt ready to come up, he's going to be next, and he's going to talk about a lot of different kinds of value that come from it. One of the things I was telling somebody about what you do, and I showed them the video, and they were like, that's kind of creepy. I mean, do we really want to have a promotion going on anytime I walk down the street? And the other person that was part of the conversation said, well, but if I'm playing Farmville, Zynga gets all the money from the game. I'd rather actually me get some of the free stuff out of the game rather than all of the value go to Zynga. It was just an interesting way to look at it, that we're already doing this kind of perpetual interaction with the world via social media and everything. So it's just another take on it. So you've shown some stuff about how to do promotions here. What would be some other kinds of things that you think could be location-based rich media that other people could run with? What other stuff do you see?
Like what other people can build off of it?
Yeah.
Anything. Find a porta potty at an event. I don't know, whatever. Let's say you have a concert and you want to find out where the funnel cakes and ice creams and things like this are. You literally, using mapping, placing a marker on a lat long on a map, all this is doing is just acting as a viewfinder, and you could visually see that information by holding your tablet up. You just visually have the camera on and you'll just see that information as opposed to topographical view like we've normally been doing. We make it so that that exact same information literally just runs through here and you could visually see it with your camera on and it'll guide you right to it.
Can I use my smartphone or do I have to have an iPad?
You can use your smartphone, Android, iOS, any phone.
And what
Just not
triggers
BlackBerry.
me- What triggers me to do that? Is there an object on the wall and I say, oh, okay, I can see what's over there?
Well, that's one of two ways. It's object-based augmented reality. So is anyone familiar with optical character recognition? OCR. So by taking an image, the camera acts like your eyeball, and it's going to look at this image, it's going to shoot it back to this brain called a server, and it's going to say, out of all these hundreds of thousands of images, do we have anything that looks like this? Oh, we do. This one right here. Okay, so we've made a match. Go ahead and activate this whatever to show up on that person's phone. Shoots back from the server, shows up on your phone, and you see content that someone wants you to see based off that image right there, that you somehow knew to go to and scan because you heard about it through a commercial or through a friend.
That's what I'm curious about. How do I know to go there? I mean, I don't go to a concert and just keep like, okay, what can I do? What else can I do?
Right, how'd you get to the concert to begin with? How'd you know to go to the concert?
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly. So that same reason that brought you there will be the same reason to get you to use stuff like this. It's going to be added into promotional materials, maybe a QR code. While you're there and you're bored, open up this app. We have this challenge going on for you. Win free stuff here, 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 and here. Tickets are $15. See you there.
At the concert, George Strait is on in 10 minutes or whatever it is, while it counts down. Try Cashtown. Brought to you by your local Ford dealer.
Yeah, what we've actually found successful in the past, when you work with something like this, is find out who all the sponsors are for that particular event and go to the event organizer and say, look, you're only able to put these logos in front of these consumers for approximately 6 hours. What if we could put these logos in front of these consumers 2 weeks before the event, 2 weeks after the event, because you have this app that is the official app of this particular event, and because Subway advertises with you, because McDonald's advertises with you, and this company over here, this mom and pop, Pike's Coffee, let's put their logos in here, and now as people hear about this through your existing media buys, like, I don't know, radio commercials, social media posts, they're gonna be able to win stuff from these sponsors that they can only redeem on location. What does that mean? 2 weeks prior, people are going around town collecting those, Pike's medallions, winning a free coffee, but they have to redeem it with this coupon code at the mobile vending station at that particular event. So now when we get people to go to the event, not only do they buy their tickets to get in, they're running straight to these booths to get their free whatever. And it's up to Pike's Coffee to sell them a cupcake or a muffin as well, giving them their free coffee. But you can do that with this technology. We found it to be very effective, so much so we're actually automating this out right now so that everyone can use it.
I have two questions. The slide that you showed that depicted the three women.
The coins above their head? Yeah.
Is that actually, you can actually look at your friend and see if she has a cash up her?
Well, you would be able to do it through a mobile device. Now, yeah.
It kind of freaks me out quite honestly, that
Yeah.
aspect.
So we took some creative liberties in there. At first, the way I'm talking right now, people just don't get it. So what we ended up doing was, just be honest with you, we dumbed this down so much to the point where you can watch a video and have an idea what's going on. So much so, creepy triggers start to go off in your brain because you actually get what's going on.
So, okay, my second question is, are there parental controls on this? Because this is probably not something I want my kids running around.
There actually is parental controls. We have to follow guidelines from the app stores.
Cool, thank you.
Mhm.
So I know with augmented reality, there's apps, but then there's also AI browsers.
Mhm.
Is there any, like Junio is a AR browser that, if there's augmented reality embedded in any object, you don't have your app running, you can just have.
Yeah, definitely. Is this recording right now? What's up, Lord Track? Yes, Junio is an AR browser. What's really neat about that is you can just go into their platform, drag and drop content where you want it to be, publish it. You have your own augmented reality app that you can use for a marketing campaign. There's upsides and there's downsides from it. The downside is you have to get someone to download Junio and then search out your app and then launch it. But the benefit is, for very cheap and very quickly, you can get an AR campaign going knowing little to nothing about AR at all. Just upload content and tell it where you want it to go and incorporate it into your marketing plan. They probably have one of the best, I think, browsers out there.
I think LAR has a partnership with a bunch of history museums, and so if you have a layout browser for Augmented Reality, the Missouri History Museum has indexed a bunch of their archival images to actual places in the city. So if you happen to have it open and you're in those places, you will see a historical photo of that same location. Now, I think what's kind of interesting about that is that, so you've got a closed system that's a promotional system, there's another system that's on another AR browser, there's another thing. I think there's going to be at some point some convergence of all of this AR content that's place-based.
Yeah, so Martin Lins Fitzgerald, he's the one that runs LAR, doing some really cool stuff as well. Actually, from what we're noticing right now, it's more about object-based AR and geofence. Now, they certainly have a location-based AR model that you can use, similar to going into Genio, creating your app, running your own campaign, but I know that their efforts lately have been more on print, to be able to enhance newspapers and magazines, to provide enriched content where you can hold your tablet or cell phone over something, it sees a marker on a page, and that page suddenly comes to life. It's really triggering an augmented reality experience. Really cool stuff. Also a huge player in the space.
Wasn't Lair the one that did the Philadelphia had a museum of contemporary art that was completely virtual, that was all augmented reality? So it was all of these works that were digital media works that people created, site-specific for places in the city. So if you had the Lair app open, you would see all of these artworks out in the city.
Yep. And this
was them or somebody else?
Martin may have done that one. But again, when you get that ticket to go to the art museum, it would say, download the LAR app, scan this image on the back of this ticket, and it'll tell you what to do. Yeah, and then you just go around to all the exhibits and literally hold your device up to the exhibit and you see something.
So this was like, you got, because I think it's Philadelphia, so I'm sure you paid to get into the museum, not everybody, it's the free museums that we have. So you got access to this virtual museum even when you left the museum.
Yeah, and those are running through browsers. Something that we wanted to do, and I really want to cover this before I stop, is that we wanted to get away from browsers altogether, let browser wars happen. We're actually doing everything native, direct to a specific app's purpose. You go to the store, you download Cashtown, the app, and you just start clicking on things, and it just works. You don't have to go through a browser. You don't have to, route your way to a certain location and then try to communicate that to your audience to get this app, search this out, go to here, and then do this. We now know people, even for a $30,000 car, they don't want to do it. They're very lazy up until the point where they actually get on location, where you've got 50,000 screaming football fans all trying to max out these little Wi-Fi boosters from the actual stadium to get this app real quick so they can play. So what we've known now is that you have to launch these things through these small business apps. I think I was telling someone here before, and they just click a button and it just opens up and it just starts to work. That's something that we knew a couple of years ago we wanted to go into based on what we learned from doing SEO, SEM campaigns, working for mom and pop shops.
You want people to go to Cashtown on a regular basis, and then you set up the actual games and promotions with the Ford dealer, with the coffee shop.
Where they set it up themselves, just like they would with a Google Ad Mob campaign.
People going to Cashtown, rather, it's not Cashtown and then the sub app, it's always Cashtown.
Just go to Cashtown. Because of geofencing, the phone knows where it is, so it knows what campaigns are running around you. And they'll just automatically be there. You just click on it and start playing and winning stuff. We knew that that's where it needed to be, but browsers are still really important. I don't know how far they're going to go with multiple browsers out there.
We have time for one more question.
Sure.
Do you have a nonprofit pricing?
We actually do have nonprofit pricing.
So I'm sure you can talk about that afterwards. So Candy Lab, some really interesting things. We're going to switch mics, get Matt set up. Matt from IL Film is going to talk about, we've been talking about location and geography as places on maps, and he's going to actually talk about it as places within buildings.